Okay, so we are back and we're going to fix the back part now. Let's take a look into this. Some of this might need a bit of a second layer tweak as well. So let's just go through it. We have the flyways here and a few layers we can merge. So let's just go to flyways and merge down. And now everything is merged there. So let's just go and pick some light ones to add here to some areas that I just noticed. Okay, I'm shift clicking it down so on the bottom of the stack. And for example, I'm still finding these here too solid. Okay, we're gonna add flyways, but there's nothing wrong in adding a few more. So especially from here, we might need something. So let's just rotate it a little bit and put it in there. Then I'm gonna push it in like so. And then just stretch it a little like that. And now I'm going to try to make use of the bend curve and give it some swing here. We're going to need a few more dots. So here, I want this part to be better blended. As you can see, this big chunk here is still there. Maybe this one can come a bit to the side. And that one over. Maybe if we twist a little bit to that side. And this one as well. Might work. Okay. And now in here, I'm gonna just drag this one inwards somewhere. And in here, this one, we're just going to drag it in and then drag this one out. Or the other way around. Maybe that be better. Yeah, and just go with the curve there. In here, it's too straight, so let's just try and work it out. Needs to look natural as well, so that's what we're trying. Cool. Over on this side, we might do the same. I'm actually going to just duplicate the mirror. And then with my move tool, to remove this so I can see what's going on. And I'm going to push this one over. And maybe make use of the gravity here, trying to loosen it up a bit. Let's see how it looks with the texture. Maybe this front part needs to drop a little bit, like so. And in here we can do that. Now it's too straight on this angle, so let's just go there and do so. It's kind of working. That's fine. Now let's take a look into adding some more. Actually, I'm going to take a look at these cards and see if I can make something that which is a bit more loose than what I have here. Something in between these. Let's try and make another chunk. So if I grab this one and I duplicate it and send it down, put it there, Alt click this one, duplicate and send it down. I can have something like this. Which could work if we just rotate this a little bit to the side, press arrows up on my keyboard to go to the other subtool, rotate this one to the other side, and then in here with my bend curve, if I just bring the roots a bit closer and maybe the tips as well, I come down and do the same to the bend curve here, I might just get a kind of a different chunk. It doesn't give me much volumetric feel. We can always add another one in the middle. Let's see if this works. This is the type of chunk which I actually never tried. I'm just going with it. Let me just put one like so. And put it here. Bit of rotation, there's no problem. Just to see how this goes. I think this could work, to be honest. Maybe to the middle one we can bend curve, add this one here a bit to this side and this to that. And it's gonna give us a bit of a feel there. Let me just put my camera like so and just maybe go with the flow here. We have something. Looks cool. It's 3 cards, but it's still looking cool. So I'm going to go up to the first one and I'm going to merge down all of them. So they're just the one. Remove the mask. I'm going to accept this bend curve. And I'm going to center my gizmo and reset its orientation and just bring it up here. And now I have a cool chunk, which I'm going to move up to the chunks, which is here. Cool. And I'm going to place it somewhere around here. Doesn't matter exactly. And now I can duplicate, send down. And I'm going to try and use this. Here. To give me a bit of a silhouette. So bend curve. Maybe we can make it go a bit further down. And then getting lost a little bit here. It works. In the sense that in some angles, it's just going to give us a bit of an extra silhouette. Maybe we need another dot here because I want this guy to go a bit further up and this one to do that. Maybe this. I'm actually enjoying this chunk, so let me just take a look and see. Maybe I'll go with my move tool here now. Just try and put it somewhere there. I'm going to duplicate it and mirror it. See what happens here. I'm going to try and remove the texture so I can see it and see where it could make a bit of a difference. So in the front view like so, but then in here it starts to get a bit too much. So let's pull it back a little. Like so. Just making sure that the root is somewhere where it makes sense. It's great. I like it. Okay, let's duplicate, and we're actually going to reset it this time. It's right there, and we're going to go into the gizmo, bring it outwards, and let's take a look and see. We can maybe put it somewhere here. Okay, I just want to create a curve here somewhere. So something like this, and then we'll fix the rest. Let's just work on the front silhouette. So I'm going to do that. Okay. And this tip could eventually come out. There's no problem. That's fine. Let's take a look at the front, see if we still have that silhouette there. We do. In here, all these dots, I'm just going to reduce. And I'm going to bring this over. If I can grab the dot and not the wheel, would be great. And this guy, we're just going to put it over here. So, this angle, we might get something there as well. And here, and over here as well. If we twist, might get a bit more interesting. That's great. Cool. Let's see how it looks if we just duplicate it to the other side. Let's duplicate a mirror. Actually, it looks fine. It's just that tip that we want to fix. We don't want it to be the same. And so let's just drag it over. Great. Now, we'll continue with this chunk because it's working really well. So let's duplicate. And let's reset. Go back to Gizmo. Bring it outside so we can see what we're doing. Just straighten it up a little bit. Rotate it. Let's take a look and see. If I click the double here, you'll see where it's facing. So it's facing this way. When you click the double off, it removes the double-sided, so you know that they're facing where the camera is looking, if you can see them. So let's just work this out. There was a chunk here, which I noticed when we were looking in the marmoset. It was kind of straight on this side. I think it's this one here, as you can see. So let's just see which layer it actually is on by going here into our stuff. And if we remove the flyaways, it's not on the flyaways. If we remove the second layer, it's on the second layer. So let's just remove the first layer and take a look at these. And when we're on the second layer, if we take a look at our polygroups, you can see it's this yellow one. It's just too straight. So let's click this guy. And then we can mask it. Control-Shift-Click outside to bring the rest. Control-Click outside to unmask or invert the mask. And now we can see what's going on. So let's just give it a bit of swing. This will just help the hair to feel a bit more natural. Okay. That should solve the problem. So let's bring that on and see. It's still working, but it's no longer the same boring stuff. So let's alt click this guy again and let's go into what we were doing. In this case, adding this flyaway, which is kind of a good few flyaways all at the same time. That's basically what we're doing. And I'm gonna go to my bend curve, use just the 2 and try and bring this further down. And now that we have this, we can increase the dots a little bit and we can see. So this one is going here. This is where it will land. I'm going to remove the poly groups because we don't need to see it and just bring the texture so we can see what we're doing. This one goes there. Now there's this curve here, which we want to respect. And here. Okay, let's increase the dots here. Something like that. And in here we can make this tip twist. Totally. So it's making a curve. This angle as well. That angle as well. Let's bring on the texture and see what this is doing. Yeah, it's working. Great. Maybe I can pull this a bit further here. That's awesome. We can duplicate a mirror. And we can see now it's on the other side, like so. I'm going to go to my move tool, and I'm going to just make it a bit different from the other one on the other side. It's still going to go unnoticed because it's there's quite a few different stuff happening. So let's just bring this part a bit further in there. Bring the texture, and we got something to break there. That's cool. One more of these, why not? So since we're at it, let's go duplicate and reset. And bring the gizmo again. And this time, I'm gonna go a bit closer here. And we can bring the bend curve, reduce the dots. Since there's two, we're gonna bring it down up to the length that we want. Pick this guy in there, and then bring the dots that we've been working. Maybe this is too much. Just removing the texture on so we can see what's going on. We can actually give it a bit of a twist here. And then just like so. Here it's too straight. We kind of need it. So let's do that. And add one more. In here, we're going to just go with the flow. So we add an extra curve. And in here, we're going to just let this guy sink in there. Like there. And then bend it over. Let's take a look at the texture and how it's looking. It's kind of lost in there, which is fine. A bit of silhouette. Because it's twisted, it's giving us a bit more juice. But it's working. Okay, so if we duplicate and mirror, we can remove the texture. See where this is going. I'm gonna make it a bit different. Something like that. We can push this one a bit further. And this one here, we can pull it up a bit. Careful, I've experienced doing this, so I know that I can't stretch it too much without looking at the texture. So just be careful when pulling. Don't make too much big of a pull, or you might break it. Bring the texture on. Let's see. Pretty much at the same height as the other one, which is kind of bothering me. So let's just do that. Actually a big gap here in the middle, so I'm gonna put this one there. Yeah, I think this is working. All right. Now it's important to give actual flyways to this. So these were kind of more belonging to the second layer, but we're gonna add it to the flyway layers. That's fine. Let's just merge everything here onto the flyways. Okay, and now we're actually gonna start with the flyways. So okay, so let's just do one or two here, and then the next video I'm gonna just speed it up because it's always the same repetitive process. So let's go with this for now. Let's duplicate, send down, and I'm gonna try and search for silhouette here. So front, I'm gonna drag this guy over, bend curve, just the two dots so I can stretch it to where I want it. maybe like so. And then I'm gonna put it over here somewhere. Now if I grease the dots, I can start bringing it to fly away. So these two are working there. And this angle, I'm gonna try and bring it further back as well. So on this angle, we can see it flying there as well. Okay, so we can add the front and we can have this 3/4 angle with the flyaway there. Let's increase the dots here and try and do something over that side as well. And twisted in there. On the side, you can barely see it because it's just the one thing. And once it's in there, I'm twisting too much. So yeah, that will be the first one. If we remove all these dots, you can see it's actually flying away there. Let's just remove this. You can see what it's doing, and you can see it's coming not from where I want it really. And in here we can just bring it up a tad, bring it in like so, bring the texture on. So on the back we have a bit of a flyaway here as well. Let's break that effect there with something else, like a smaller one. So just a card, duplicate, send down. I'm gonna have this one coming from somewhere in here. And using my bend curve with 2, I'm gonna bring it down as well. And then a few dots, I'm gonna just break that shape there somehow. It feels good. Okay, something like this. So when we fix that, we can take a look at how it looks on the other end. As you can see, it's not starting exactly where it should, so let's just drag it over. In here, it's just straight as hell. So let's try and give a bit of silhouette here as well. And maybe push this one forward. Why not? And that one back. And we can twist it a little bit as well. And in here we can twist as well. And same here. And if we take a look at what we have, you can see it's breaking the shape there. It's coming out here. That's probably good enough for now. So these two we could actually try and duplicate and mirror, see what's going on that side. Obviously we can't have it exactly the same, so let's just use the move tool. And we can drag it in. Okay, to try and do a different shape. That should be fine. Let's just see if all angles how it looks. It's looking okay. Let's remove the texture, see if it follows the patterns. It's kind of crisscrossing there, so I'm just going to drag it in. Okay. It should be fine. Maybe we can make advantage of that part there on the top. Yeah, we do. Look how we're getting a bit of a flyaway there as well. So that's great. Let's just go back to the other one that we were using to break the shape. And if we duplicate and mirror, the effect is quite different from the other ones. So we can actually do that. Kind of giving me a very straight line here, so I'm not enjoying this. Going like so, probably better. Yeah, it's working. So let's continue. Let's love to have one that just comes out of this pot and just drops over. So let's just do that as well with something like this. Why not? Let's duplicate, send down. Let's rotate it a bit like so, and then just trying to increase the side silhouette by just having something that sticks out from here. Okay. Let's just remove. I'm going to use 3 right now because I just want to make use of this. Okay, and I'm going to do that. And so I'm just worried that this part here is natural enough. It's coming out from there, giving me a pretty cool, interesting silhouette, but over here it's kind of messed up. So let's just bring this over. Like so. And just twist it like that. That worked out pretty well in terms of the front silhouette. Cool. And well, not on this angle, as you can see. So let's just bring it over. It still works in here, but not in there. Bring it closer, I guess. Like so. Kind of strange, isn't it? Not really sure what's was better before. I actually click Control S. I want to click Control Z and go back. There was this stage here where I was actually enjoying it, which was this. But then we need to fix this part. So let's just drag it inwards. Let me see if we still have the bend curve. We do. So let's bring that part over. And like so, it's just okay. I think this is okay. We don't like it in the end, then we can change it, but I think this is okay. So, silhouette is what we're looking for, basically, and that's kind of working there. We could eventually have one that comes from here, the same. So let's try and use maybe this one. These ones are kind of spiky. I'm going to use the spiky ones, the roots. Let's just see how this works here if we want to increase the silhouette on the front. So maybe just doing this and curve. Well, decrease these dots. I'm going to actually make this a bit chunkier and bigger. Thicker, there is. Maybe this will help get more noticed. really sure, but it could work. Just dragging it in. I think it works. Okay, so the job on next video is pretty much the same. So we take a look at a view like so, 3/4, and we just add flyways here. Okay, so let's do that.